Hello, beautiful souls. So I don't know how much you can see me, but this is pretty spectacular. So I think this is more important. You can hear my voice. You don't necessarily need to always see my face, my beautiful face. There it is. Source energy coming in through the window. There's some light codes always coming in. The fractals and the rainbows, it looks like right there. So welcome. This is day 36 of FreQSpeak, 36th day of 111 days of sharing my real raw frequency and energy with you, the beautiful collective. And I just finished my light language for the crown chakra, so we're just going to give a little spritz. So hopefully like I said, the cinnamon oil doesn't make me sneeze too much. So hopefully everyone's doing well. We'll see what I've got to give today. Yesterday I didn't have a whole lot, but I still gave, and if I didn't, then I wouldn't. So I gave what I could, and I didn't force it. So I waited till it felt right, and I did. So it is 11:38, December the 16th. Yeah, again, new moon portal open for sure. Again, I feel it. Usually they say 3 days before, 3 days after. I usually start feeling it. It depends on what's going on, and with all this cosmic convergence and all of these downloads and upgrades and reboots and resets and all of the stuff going on, I'm definitely feeling it. So are you feeling it? So I had a couple things come in this morning. One, just wrote down some notes from channeled message transmission this morning that I wanted to share and ask you, and maybe to reevaluate where you're at in your personal self. And then a little bit of a download, I guess, in my sacred bath. I normally don't take sacred baths on Tuesdays, but yesterday was a day. I was in bed shortly after 7, and I didn't get up until after 6, so I was in bed almost over 11 hours, and I slept most of the time. I did wake up a little bit around the normal time, 2, 3, 4 o'clock, but then I was back to sleep. So what came through this morning is, I'm just going to read my notes. So again, that's just the way it works best for me currently. So healing is not thinking. Healing is not understanding. Healing is feeling. So healing is not thinking, it's not understanding. Healing is actually feeling. And I don't know about you all, but I've been releasing a lot, lots of crying, lots of purging, releasing those emotions that come up, whether it's anger, frustration, or just all of it. But a lot of mine comes through tears, and tears are sacred technology. And if you're curious, you can go do some research on that. So healing is feeling. Your willingness to be present with what arises in your physical body. So I've been feeling a lot of it in my heart space for sure. A lot of it in my heart space. And being present with that and acknowledging that. So feeling without numbing, without spiritualizing it away, spiritual bypassing, without pushing to a resolution before the feeling has been fully felt. So I'm going to read that again. So feeling without numbing, feeling without spiritualizing it away, spiritual bypassing, without pushing to a resolution before the feeling has been fully felt. In our culture, for sure, if you are currently unaware, our culture is terrified of feeling its feels, personally and collectively. So basically in our culture, it has, I'm going to try and read my notes and use words that there has been multi-billion-dollar industries created to help you not to feel. And you know some of what those are. All right? It's not just through substance and addictions. We're very familiar with how that works. All right? Those are obvious. Those are very obvious. But through more socially acceptable drugs of busyness, of productivity, and endless consumption, and the endless scrolling on social media that keeps your nervous system just stimulated enough that you never have to drop into the deeper waters of your own inner world. Because you get there and you start getting uncomfortable, and then you start drinking the alcohol, doing the drugs, over consuming the food, over exercising, over binge watching, over scrolling. You know it. I know what my crutches were. Do you know what yours were? Okay. And sitting with that. Okay. But those deeper waters are exactly where your liberation feels. Okay. Those deeper waters that you're avoiding by numbing, those are where your liberation lives. And I can attest to that. Okay. That discomfort that you keep avoiding, it's the doorway. That pain you keep running from, it's the teacher. That grief you keep postponing to feel, it's the medicine. Okay? There is no path around this. The path is through. Remember, it's through. You've heard that said many times. And the through is what is required. Let me just check on this just a second. I'm not reading my handwriting right. Okay, and the through requires what your addiction to comfort has trained you to avoid. Okay. So the through is what requires your addiction. I really apologize, everyone. So I'm trying to understand this. All right. So your addiction to comfort has trained you to avoid the willingness to feel what hurts. The feeling will not destroy you. I know that it feels like that, okay? And that's your ego. Your ego tries to convince you that it's going to destroy you. It's that, what one might say, the ego death, right? The ego will continue to get you to loop into these avoidance, addictive behaviors because it doesn't want to face the deeper waters, and it tries to continue to convince you not to go into those deeper waters. Does that make sense? All right. Again, it's real, it's raw, it's messy, and it's authentic. All of the words stumbling, all of it, okay? Don't edit. I just keep it real. You are worthy. You don't have to prove. You don't have to perform to be worthy. Okay, so that's just another quote. So, you are worthy. You don't have to prove. You don't have to perform to be worthy. So that was kind of like another little download after I listened to this. These are just, holy crap. Spectacular. All right, so 911 might be significant. 911 is the numbers. I've been seeing those a lot. 122 I saw. I really haven't, caught a lot of numbers. Sometimes they come in droves and sometimes they don't come in as many. All right. Also, what came in is, I'm going to have you repeat this. I matter. My feelings matter. My heart matters, and my present matters. We matter. Let's say that again. I matter. My feelings matter. My heart matters, and my presence matters. We matter. One more time. I matter. My feelings matter. My heart matters, and my presence matters. We matter. All right. So, hey, how are ya? So on that, during my sacred bath, I was just laying there because, like I've said, I've been really going through it since the 12/12 portal. And I heard someone quickly say, reboot this morning, reset. For sure, we know we're going through a reboot, a reset. But again, so what came through to me was that you're in the final push. Again, I used this in my video last night. You're in the final push of this cosmic laboring process. The final squeeze, the final pushing, the final shedding. You are crowning now. The bone deep exhaustion is real. We understand that. The fatigue has been real. We understand that. The last bits crumble, dissolve, and release. All of the tears, all of the pain, all of the healing, all of this discomfort, and all of the work you've been doing to be more still. Going within, surrendering more and more, releasing and letting go, trusting and holding the faith, It's almost over. You're so close. Keep holding on. You can see the finish line just ahead. I know you were tired. I know you are so, so tired. We are so proud of you. So, so proud of you. So proud of you choosing you. Even through the hurt, even through the pain, and even through this journey and this process. You choosing you in every step of this journey. The journey back to self. The journey back to remember. The journey back to who you truly are. Source expressing itself in this human form. So, all of its messiness, there's that. So, I'm going to pull some oracle cards, and then I'm going to keep this one a little bit shorter, it feels like, and I don't really want to go too much longer. Again, honor the hydration, the nourishing. I made a massive pot of soup today. Real simple is celery, onions, red onion, green onion, garlic, sweet potato, carrots, mushrooms, parsley, water, salt, herbs, spices, and it got a lot. So, all right. What are we going to do? Let's pull a couple of these. 1, 1, 1, 1. There's my timer. 1, 1, 1, 1. All right, let's pull a couple light seer tarots. We're gonna do the mini deck. The mini deck. The little itty bitty pocket deck, because it's sitting right here. Ace of Wands. All right, what do we have? So it's for the collective. 1, 3, 3 on the timer. I'm gonna, just so you can see the cards better. I don't want to block that out because that's pretty spectacular in itself. And when I'm done, I'm gonna pull my blanket out and just, like I'm laying outside, and put my face in the sunshine. Maybe I'll meditate, do some breath work. So honor the rest. Sleep more if you need it. Don't judge yourself. Slow down. Again, be conscious of if you're using substances or things to bypass feeling your feels. Feeling your feels. All right, let's see. All right, we got Ace of Wands and King of Cups that wanted to come out. There we go. The Magician, Justice, and the Page. Let's see here. So again, every time I see that Ace of Wands, it's the fire there. Cups is water. Page is Pentacles is earth energy. I just want to, just always goes to the third eye and the crown chakra lighting up. And if you are following the light language series, I just did the crown chakra. I will have that posted today. So go ahead and check that out if you feel called to. If you feel called, hit the like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. Anything else? Bottom of the deck. 10 of Cups. All right. Getting our 10 of Cups, baby. All right. Blue's Clues. Get my handy dandy glasses. Ace of Wands. So again, I like to read from the book. I don't do it traditional like most readers. I like to kind of read from the book and see what I get from that. All right. So the Ace of Wands is, I'm going to read the little quote that she's got here, and it's, I seed my brilliant future with the roots of creativity and inspiration. All right, so just knowing that the seeds that you've planted have been gestating, germinating, and that they're going to start blooming, okay? New ideas, the seed of potential, the arrival of inspiration, illumination, intense creativity, and mirror-like nature of consciousness. The inner consciousness of all things, the ability to manifest anything. So again, I like to show the card because again, that might be a key code or an activation for you. Again, I see this as a very upper chakra illumination, download, upgrade. Okay, so next is the King of Cups. We've got a ship sailing out in the back. He's got that crown above his head. He's got his cup there. We've got, I think that's a crab down there. Whoops, yeah. Yeah, nope, that's a fish. Sorry. So water, so being in water, and there's the starfish. So again, that might also refer to you needing to connect with the water that's been coming up to help you through this process, okay? Through this process. All right. So King of Cups, what do we have here? King of Cups. I don't usually have this one come out too often. Okay, so I'm going to read the little quote. It says, I'm in touch with my emotions. So it's, again, feeling those emotions, going back to feeling your feels. Male or female, again, hopefully at this point, depending on your age, you're okay to cry as a man, because we know a lot of men that are my age or older have always been shamed or shunned or told not to cry, which is just bullshit. All right, feel your feels, cry your cries, and don't be ashamed of it. Okay. A classic romantic and passionate soul. So maybe some of you are gonna have a King of Cups showing up. Romance, passion, artistic tenderness, creativity, wearing your heart on your sleeve, seeking connection, being in love with the idea of love and clarity. Chivalry, sorry. So again, this might just be a reference to you. It could just mean that there's a King of Cups coming in. Again, take what resonates and leave the rest. Don't make it fit. And again, use your discernment. But again, this might be referring to you. It might be referring to a partner, a current partner upgrading, or someone new coming in. So again, one of my favorite cards is the Magician. We've got the infinity symbol, to infinity and beyond. Infinite. You're an infinite being. Okay? Understand that. Remember that. All right? This is the number 1 card. All right? We've got a portal down there. Creating our magic. Always. All right. The Magician. All right. The quote here is, I manifest the life I desire through energy and action. All right. Skill, natural talents, power of manifestation, creativity, and resourcefulness. And then going back to understand that you are the manifester and you are the manifested. You are both, right? You are the magician. All right. You have the power to create your reality. All right. Just kind of got to get the way out the way of yourself sometimes. All right. Justice, the number 11 a card. So again, if we take the numbers here, that's 11. 111, 111. There's 3 ones here. All right, so Justice. So she's got her sword, and it's again Libra. I'm a Libra. Maybe this is referring to a Libra. All right, Justice card, number 11. Justice. All right. Natural law, balance, karma, truth, wisdom, legal matters, fairness, cause and effect, integrity, objectivity, perspective, and accountability. So maybe you've got some stuff going on in the legal system, you know, and fairness, cause and effect of, you know, maybe there's just taking accountability for your actions, right? Maybe you're just blaming everything else on everyone around you, but you're not taking accountability for your own actions, because it's never just one person's fault. You still have to take accountability for your actions, all right? My good karma is delightfully loving and can be the most motivating of teachers. Justice asks you to learn from your past experiences, the good, the bad, and the fugly. So again, all of that. Take it all in and grow from it. This energy is not about perfection, but it's about fairness and honesty. It highlights the clarity of motivation and intention, and it asks you to be realistic about your cause and effect of your thoughts and your actions. Seek to balance your growth with both positivity and shadow, and learn from the many different parts of you in your current situation. Be impartial as you reframe your reality to work to remove any negative emotional changes from the equation. If fear is causing you to act in a way that you aren't proud of, seek a variety of perspectives before judging another person. There's a reason I was called to read more of this, okay? Actions to be good or bad. The only true path ahead of you is not one that is necessarily black or white, but it is always one of love. All right? Page of Pentacles, Earth energy. All right. Page of Pentacles. Thanks for hanging out with me today, everybody. Ace of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. What we got? Pop goes the can. My soup ceiling. All right, manifesting new opportunities, new beginnings, good news. So some of you are manifesting new opportunities, maybe new jobs, maybe a new skill set, manifesting new beginnings. You're going to be receiving good news, ambitious skills and training, financial opportunities, new career paths, new connections, new exploration, a beginner, earth magic, making plans a reality. All right. I can be practical and realistic and still run ahead to meet my dreams. Okay. So this came out, 10 of Cups. So the 10 of Cups, someone is getting their 10 of Cups, all right? All this beautiful rainbow energy. We got 2 children there. We've got a beautiful couple here. I can look at this a couple ways. It can be, 2 people coming together and creating a family. Or I've also seen this as 2 people looking at their inner children playing together. Okay, so I've seen these, what I feel off of this energy is it can go either way. Whether you're creating a new family together, you're joining families, or you're just enjoying each other and enjoying watching your inner children play together, your 10 of Cups, all right? So someone getting their 10 of Cups, I know my 10 of Cups is coming. I've just been patiently waiting for my 10 of Cups. Waiting patiently. And that's the patience part of it. That's the challenging part of it sometimes, is surrendering to the process and the letting go. Knight. The 10 of Cups. So I'm going to read the little quote first. I live in a state of oneness by bringing harmony and love to my relationships. So community. So some of you might be getting, your community, your tribe, you're going to start coming into union with other like-minded souls. And again, creating new opportunities, new ideas, new jobs, all of that, okay? Love, soulmate energy for sure, harmony in relationships and family, divine connections, heart opening, expansion. So we know there's a lot of heart expansion, a lot of heart opening going on right now. And then wholeness. All right, so again, like I said, this could be divine union. It could talking about divine union, twin souls. It could also talk about your relationships, up leveling. You've been doing the work, they've been doing the work, and now you're upgrading into your next level, all right? And then those divine connections are coming in. So I'm going to read the little extra here. It says, this card has a powerful energy of being connected to the hearts, giant love, and devoted and acceptance. Okay, often seen as one big happy family card, it's a giant yes for relationships and love, and it predicts your fairy tale ending. So if you know you got a fairy tale ending, it's coming. All right, and hey, you get to decide what this soulmate and unicorns ending looks like. So I've never read this part. And so when I see unicorns, I resonate very much with the unicorn energy in my unicorn guide. And there's always this inside joke between me and my partner about us being magical freaking unicorns. I've joked that I think we were unicorns in a past life. All right. Allow your heart's expansive energy to pour into all of your connections, including those with your community. In shadow, this card suggests that you need to look at how you feel about yourself within relationships. So if you're struggling in relationships, if it came out in the reverse, if you're struggling with the shadow aspect of it, all right. If you're looking for a quote unquote white picket fence in order to find happiness, remember that your joy will come only from the inside out. So remember, inside out. So you've been programmed to think and conditioned to think of, if I get the job, if I get the house, if I get this white picket fence and house, that's where the joy and happiness comes from. And it's not. It starts here first, okay? So it comes from the inside out. By waiting for other people or better things to create your happiness for you, you undermine your own power to create feelings of love. Bringing gratitude and generosity to your life in every day. Focus on others and gift them your energy through time, kindness, and service. 2440. All right. So we're going to leave that. Hopefully that resonates with some of you. Maybe one card resonates with you. Maybe none of it resonates with you. All right. We're going to pull a couple of oracle cards. And we're going to just do the Tree of Life. There's a couple here. There's that victory is ahead, love, art, and hope. Again, a little bit going back to my message. Again, this reminds me of twin soul. There's a lot of victory, but again, we've got the pairs on the swans, which is twin soul. We got the white doves, angels. And we've got, is that the lotus? Nope, that's a pink rose. So victory, victory, victory. Victory is here. You're really close to that finish line. It's like running a Spartan race. I've never ran a marathon, but Spartan races are hard. It's like just giving it that last push. You can see the finish line. And again, taking that leap of faith. That number 11 is here again. That leap of faith, that trust, that surrender, that free fall, that freedom. And just know that you were held. The High Priestess, true knowledge, peace, and inner light. So again, some of that might be referring to your downloads, your upgrades in your third eye, in your crown chakra, in your intuition, in your clair abilities, getting upgrades, okay? Or getting your abilities, thank you, Source, that have been dormant or tucked away for safekeeping until the time was perfectly right for those to be unlocked and gifted to you and remembered, okay? Because it's not like they were never a part of you. They've always been a part of you. Thank you, 2626 on the timer. They were just stored away in a beautiful golden trunk until the time was perfect for you to be able to use those gifts and abilities for the collective. All right. So the World card is here. So the beginning and the end. Independence, facing fears, and discipline. So the World card is endings, new beginnings, okay? And then the Tower. So some of you might be going through a Tower moment right now. We'll be going through a Tower moment. Just know that all towers are good towers, even though they don't always feel like that. So sometimes you might have a tower. Someone might pass away. Somebody might lose a job. You might get fired, or someone says we no longer need your assistance, or something happens in your relationship, or whatever it is. Maybe your car breaks down. Whatever it is, they can be small or big. You know, take what resonates. So, but the Tower moments, courage, faith, and the fighting spirit to keep fighting. The Death card. So I don't hope that anyone is transitioning at this point. Just know that death is an illusion and it is a transition. All right, you've been conditioned to think that that's the end. That's not the end. That's just a transition. All right, so death. So hopefully that's not the case, but maybe someone just lost somebody. Maybe somebody's going to transition. There's a lot of souls that have done their work and they're like, we're done, we're going home. We need a little bit of a rest before we decide what our next assignment is. Okay, so grief, but also it refers to that rebirth and that transformation. So I was talking about that in that download, that rebirthing. We're in the final stages of the laboring process in this cosmic canal. Divinity, creation, and manifestation. The spiritual triangle is here. All right. Oh, geez. Hermit. So I've definitely been in a lot of hermit mode. So spiritual guidance, commitment, and a way shower. So some of you might resonate with being a way shower, being in a hermit phase, or looking to seek some spiritual guidance. Okay. We're going to leave that. And then we're going to pull Earth Magic. And then I'm going to go eat some more watermelon, because I was able to get watermelon on December the 16th. And it was delicious. All right. Some oracle cards here. Please and thank you. I'll take these off. I guess I don't need these to read these. They're big enough. Unless I need to read out of the book. Oh, we got two. We've got activations. So that's not a surprise, since I was mentioning about third eye, crown chakra upgrades, rememberings, unlocking that trunk. Ancient gifts coming online, which is your activation card. And then we have the shaman, ancient healing wisdom. So again, those ancient abilities that you've tucked away that haven't been needed to be used are now being called forth. I'm going to read activation because I don't think I've read that one. Again, I haven't read a lot of these. I just go by the face of that. Activation. The various currents of air that circulate Our plant can be gentle enough to tickle the hairs on our arms, or so fierce that they destroy a man-made structure, as well as trees and other vegetation. Wind moves the air to circulate the atmosphere. From becoming stagnant. When there's no movement, the atmosphere feels heavy. Gentle breezes help cool the land and pollinate the flowers, whereas more temperate winds can snap branches off and stir something deep within us. So stirring up those emotions, okay? So some of you might be feeling these feelings getting stirred up from everything that's happening all around you, okay? More violent winds can create temporary chaos with their ferocity. No matter the degree of intensity, wind will activate us in this image. The breath of the god of wind stirs the sea and rearranges the sky. As this occurs, the weather shifts, the effects, even in small area, send ripples through, blending and dancing with the water and the sky. It activates the atmosphere, and the world feels more alive when there is wind. So you know how you just get that clearing, and that when the wind feels coming through to clear things. It might feel kind of chaotic and disruptive in that moment, but always remember that once it passes, everything's been again cleansed and cleared. Someone is trying to climb up the screen again. It makes me crazy. The squirrels trying to get to the empty bird feeders. The lethargy you feel is the result of a lack of activation. In other words, something that stirs your senses. This could be anything from walking outdoors, feeling the breeze on your body, or inhaling a different aroma that nature herself provides. Or it could be finding the pleasure in a warm bath that helps you release the tension and the stress from your mind and your body. Music may activate your hearing, which sparks the pleasure centers in your brain, sound and frequency. Art may activate emotional responses. The touch of another human may activate a deep need to be physically held in some manner once again. Now it is time for action. Engage in some activity that fully and be fully present. So engage in some activity and be fully present so that you forget about your surroundings and enter into that timeless, multidimensional experience of union with the forces of your creative attention. Let your physical body be active. Movement alone, whether quietly dancing by yourself or hiking up a hill over yonder, will require you to be present as possible in your body. Enjoy. So I'm just going to touch on the hiking part, because in being present with activity, it's the one thing when you're backpacking that you have to be so present, and you want to experience everything all around you, but to do that and still move forward with a 35 or 40 pound backpack, and for me, I'm a tiny human, gets to be challenging. So you're always having to navigate the terrain and the hills and making sure that you don't tip over or fall over, you know, all of that stuff. So you're always like even that more present, and just adding that presence, 333 on the timer, thank you. Adding that presence to even the smallest things, you know, outside of just a walk into nature. Presence of sitting here listening to a digital fire and a river, you know, being present by letting the sun shine in your face, being present while you chop a bunch of vegetables up for a nourishing feast that you'll have available for you for a while. So I hope all of that helps, and that it resonates, and that it reaches those that it's meant to reach. And I will talk to you soon, beautiful souls. Enjoy the rest of your day, and just know that we've got this. We're so close. I love you. See you soon. Bye.